Let's talk about immigration appeals today. There's lots to learn. It can be confusing and kind of overwhelming, but let's break down the simple steps of when you need to file it, the appeal, where it needs to go, and what is the benefit. Hi, I'm immigration lawyer Hillary Walsh, and I've been doing immigration appeals for over 10 years. It's actually how I got my start in immigration law, was really by specializing in Board of Immigration and Ninth Circuit appeals. I've even written to the U.S. Supreme Court, so I have extensive experience in pretty much every court here on the west side of the United States and all the way up to the top for federal immigration matters. So I've argued before the Ninth Circuit numerous times. I've argued before the Board of Immigration Appeals. I'm one of the few people in the United States that can say that. I want to share all the info that I can with you so that as you make the important decision, and it's one that has to be pretty quick decision of whether to appeal an immigration judge decision, a Board of Immigration Appeals decision, or even an asylum office decision or USCIS decision, anything that you don't like and you think, you know what, I need to possibly appeal this. My hope for you today is that you walk away with just a little bit more information, feeling a little bit more confident, having some hope, knowing what your rights and your options are. And if you need help, that you can reach out to me at New Frontier Immigration Law, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help. So let's jump right into it. Let's start first with why appeal, when should we appeal, and how to do it. All of those things all at once, right? First of all, why appeal? The number one reason people come to me and they've got a negative decision in their hands, usually from an immigration judge, sometimes from the Board of Immigration Appeals, and oftentimes from USCIS, they say, what do I do next? This says I have 30 days to appeal, or something basically bad is going to happen. I'm going to lose my case. I'm going to be put into removal proceedings. A notice to appear, which is a fancy way of saying a time to show up for court because we're going to try to deport you. That could be issued if I don't do something in 30 days. And as a starting point, it's important to note that pretty much every appeal that you have to file is going to have a 30-day clock. When does the 30-day clock start? From the day the decision was issued. Now, if the decision was mailed to you, you might get a couple of extra days. But I never use those extra days because I don't want to have to explain why this was past the 30 days. And in some situations, it's not even from when you received it. It's from when it was issued, when the decision was issued. So ignore everything else you hear and let's keep that 30-day clock in our mind for when the decision is issued to when we have to have the appeal in the court systems, in the court's hands for the appeal. We got 30 days for pretty much any Board of Immigration Appeals issue, or what I should say is for any immigration appeals issue. Let's talk specifically about a USCIS decision. How do you find the deadline? There's going to be on page 1, it's going to show you when the denial letter, when it was issued, when it was written. Some courts calculate things based only on business days, but the rule is not 30 business days. It's instead 30 days from the date of this decision. So I use a handy app. I just Google, and I can even show it to you if you like. Time calculator. I love a good time calculator. Let me figure out which one. I love it. It's called timeanddate.com. That's the one I always use. And you're going to add days to it. Let's use today as our start date, and we're going to add 30 days to it, and it's going to calculate a new day. That just helps me because I'm not going to mess around with counting on my fingers and looking at it and all this other stuff. And then if your deadline falls on a weekend, there are a lot of different courts that will allow you to slide it to the following Monday. I do not recommend doing that because, again, you then have to show that, oh, wait, it was due on a Saturday and you're not open on Saturday, so you don't receive mail, or maybe the 30th day is on a Sunday. So Monday it rolls over to it. No. I don't like to sweat it. I don't like to mess with this stuff. I don't want to give anybody any reason for needing to deny me. So I'm not going to mess around with that. But instead, what I would do is just get it there before the deadline. before you start into that weekend.